parts of our project. Okay, so we have seen this is our decoding part where we can code. If we look at our XML layout file, we have two views. One is the design layout and the other one is a text layout. We have seen that. Okay, so now we talk about on the left side we have certain files. So if we look at that at the top, we have different views of that particular project. So we can look at the project, it will show me that particular specific file and folder location and everything. Okay, so where we have most of the time we will see the project in the Android view. In the Android view, we have two parts. One is the Gradle part, okay, and the other one is that application part. In the application part, we have three main parts. The manifest, if we open that particular manifest file, it is actually an XML file which have the basic information about your project, your Android project. Like what application, what starting screen will be the launch screen whenever your application is going to be launched. If we have multiple screens, multiple activities inside it that we have designed, then which one will be the launched once you start that application. So you can give that particular specific information about your project, about your application in this manifest file. Okay, this manifest file is more kind of the configuration file for your project. Okay, the other part is Java. In the Java, if we look at that, we have that particular, we have three types. One is the without anything, the other one is Android test, and the third one is the test. But we are most interested right now only in the first, what you can say that Java. So the package name is the exactly the UX and UI dot dt dot manuco dot ac dot nz. It has been reversed, and it also add the project name at the end of that particular package name. So hopefully that will be unique if you want to launch that particular application on the uh, Google Play. Then most probably this will be a unique package name over there. Okay, so this is the project, this is the code file where we can run it, and the third part in that particular application is the resources. In the resources we have multiple folders. First is the drawable. Drawable folder is a folder where you can contain your images, like your icon, picture, any image that you want to put as a resource inside your project, that will go into the drawable folder. Then we have the layout, the layout that we have just seen here. This layout in the text view or the design layout, actually this is a file inside the layout folder, layout underscore activity.xml. And then we have the MIP map. Again, that is more kind of the, if we look at that, we have the icons inside it. We have the different resolution, high definition resolution, medium definition resolution pixels, extra high definition pixels, extra high definition pixels. So actually these are the different image resources which can be used as the icon image for your application based on which mobile device you are running on. They will select if that mobile device is a high definition, then it will use this one. If it is a low definition or low resolution device, then maybe it will use the medium definition pixels. If it is an extra high definition pixels device, then it will use. So we have different resources for different type of screen resolutions. So that is the MIP map. You can also develop yourself as well. And then we have the values. In these values, we have three files. One is the colors. If we look at that primary color, if you change that particular primary color and the accent color or the dark color, actually it will change these particular things. These colors. This color, that is the title bar. This is the application bar. This is the what you can say that status bar. So these colors will be changed. Do you want me to show that? Okay, so let me go and change something here. Okay, let me go and change this thing, like this accent color. I just put it here, and then I save it here, and then I come back to my design view, that layout. No, it's not visible. Yep, it's visible. Look, I mean, I just changed that color, and it is actually. So what you can say that this particular color, that's the color primary, that is our application bar color. And this color, which is primary dark, that is actually the color of this particular. Okay, so if you change that, then it will just change the look of your application. Okay, when your application is running, how your application bar will color, how your status bar will be colored. Okay, so you can change that kind of information over there. The second thing is strings. Look at that. We have the strings. We have defined a string, that's app name, and then we can, like here we say that lecture, so we can say that lecture ux slash ui design. So if I come back to my, it will change things here. Look at that. The title of that particular title bar, the name of your project is being changed. So these are the strings. Of course, we use these strings, and we can define certain specific string constants here. We can also define certain arrays that if you want to use something. Okay, and the last thing is the styles.xml. We have many styles inside, built-in styles. Of course, this particular application is also built on some specific design. That is, the parent of that particular design is theme.app compat.light.dark action bar. We can also say that if I say that dot no action bar. So if we go back, it will remove my action bar, changing that particular theme of the application. There's no action bar anymore here on the top. Okay, if I go back and revert it back, then if I come back here, my application action bar will come back again. So there are different themes which are already built in. Okay, they have defined a lot of layout properties and attributes to give a specific look and wear and tear of your application. Okay, you can change a few things here, and if you want to go into more detail, then you have to open that specific theme and you can customize it. That is something beyond the scope of this course, but yes, you can do that. You can build your own theme, you can use it with your applications. Okay, so this is the different files which are exist in our file in our Android project. We have the code and my Android manifest file, we have the code file, Java files, we also have the drawables, we have layouts, we have values. So these are the different parts of our components. Okay, and then at the end, the last but not the least, that we have the Gradle files. Gradle files, if I just try to open, we have two Gradle files. One is the project, one is the app. If you look at the app, it will show me that compile SDK version is 28, like we are compiling this particular application using the latest version of the Android. Okay, and the minimum SDK, that means that the minimum version of the Android which will be supported by our application can run on it. Okay, so that is 22. And if we add certain dependencies, we will talk about these dependencies later on, but these are, like, you can say that, if you want to use a specific library in the in your Java projects, what you do, you have a jar file, you import that particular jar file. So you are just trying to doing the same thing here in your Android Studio. We have different libraries. Sometimes they are by default there, sometimes they are not there. If they are not there, then you have to add those dependencies. You have to implement those particular specific libraries inside your project so that you can use those in your codes. Otherwise, you can't use it. Okay, we will see that later on. But these are the dependencies that you can fix in that particular Gradle project. And in the project level, it will tell us we have different repositories. We have Google repository, we have JCenter repository, and we have different things here. But that is mostly we will be talking about this app level Gradle files, okay, in which we can add multiple dependencies. But here we are rarely coming to look at that particular Gradle file. So this is the whole structure of your Android project. We have manifest file, we have code files, we have the drawable where you can find different images, we have the layout files, we have the values, and we have the Gradle files. So this is the complete structure. What else we have here? If we look at our tools, inside the tools we have two managers. We have the SDK Android Virtual Device Manager, and we have the SDK Manager, Software Development Kit Manager. So let's first see the Android Virtual Device Manager. So we have that particular Android virtual device. In the beginning, when you have installed for the first time, maybe you don't see any virtual device here. There will be no. So what you can do, you can click on that particular plus create virtual device button. When you create it, it will ask you that which specific size of or the pixel resolution and the size of that particular image you want to see. So you can select any, whatever you want. You like small, we have 2.7, or we have big 5.99 or something like that. So you can select any. Like I say that 5 pixel, or maybe I can say that Nexus 6. Okay, Nexus 6 I selected. We have the Play Store. So let me 5x. It has a Play Store in it. So we say that next. Here we need to select which specific operating system, Android operating system, you want to install on that particular virtual device. Okay, so you can have x86, or there are some which are already there. There are some which are not there. So we can, like we have, I have Oreo 27. You can also say that Nougat 28. I mean, you can, if it is not there, you have to download it. I mean, right now I have Oreo. If I select this one, if I don't, then I can click on that particular download issue, and it will download that specific version for me and install in that particular virtual device. So right now I'm not going to that particular download phase, downloading and installing and everything. So whatever I have, that's Oreo 27. So I will select that one, the Android operating system, and click next. Here we have selected the device, the resolution and the screen size. We have selected our Android version that we want to install on that, and then we also look at that show me the advanced options. In this we have, like, you want to use the camera, emulated camera, or the virtual scenes, what will be the network full speed or the latency, emulator performance, you want to cold boot or quick boot, okay, what will be the RAM size, what will be the heap size, what will be the internal storage, what will be the SD card size. So you can select all those informations here. You can customize those things. I'm not changing anything here, but I'm just say that finish. When I finish, it will create that particular virtual device with these settings which I have done. That it will create that particular virtual device for me. Has I pressed it? Yep. So it has created that particular virtual device. So if you want to run it, on the right side we have that particular play button. If you click on that, you can play that particular specific device. Look at that, it is trying to start and that particular specific Android version and starting that particular device for us. That is where we can test our applications. We can't test everything in that, but I think in that course everything we can test here. Sometime when you are using the Bluetooth, some specific hardware related, then of course you can't test them in the virtual device. You have to use the real device. So how we can use that particular real device? You need that particular real device with the cable. Okay, and before you can use the real device, you need to enable your development options. Based on your uh, device, you can Google it out and how you can enable your uh, developer options. Okay, once you have started the developer options, then you need to go into the settings, developer settings, and you need to enable the USB debugging mode. Once you done that on your mobile actual device, you can plug in the USB, and then you can run your applications automatically on your real device instead of your emulator. You know, sometimes the computers are slow. They are very slow. So what will happen? They will not be able to run smoothly. If you want to run again and again your application, you want to test your application again and again, it will take a longer time, and sometimes, you know, due to that particular slow process, the person become frustrated a little. Okay. So this is how this is the virtual device. It's still in the process. Okay. So if you want to edit the virtual device, you have this particular pencil button here. If you click on that, you can edit that one. Yeah, it will open that particular. You can go into the advanced setting, change all those settings, and again click finish. But right now we are not doing that. If you want to delete it, look, duplicate. You want to make a duplicate, wipe the data, cold boot or whatever. So you can also delete it if you want. We have multiple options here. This is our Android virtual device manager. Clear? Any questions? No. The second is our SDK manager. SDK manager is like we need to, you know, we have different SDK platforms, different versions. Like we have Android 28, Android 8.1, Android 8.0, Android 7. So I have installed quite a good number of. But I think that when you are going to install it, it will be only one will be there, maybe the latest one. So if you want to install the other ones, you can just click on something. Like if I say that honeycomb, I just click on that and then look at that. It will say that you want to apply that particular specific changes into your Android Studio, and once you apply it, it will download that particular thing and that specific SDK for you. And then we also have those one thing here that show package details. If you want to see all the package details, you can click on that and it will show me all those things. So look at that. We have the Android P preview, that's China version, and then we have the Android API 21, Android TV, Android SDK. So I mean, depending on what you require, you can select different APIs, different settings you want to install in that particular specific version. And then we also have the SDK tools. In the SDK tools, which are more important, is the what you can say that NDK update is available, so we can yes, I want to update it. Okay, we also have that particular Google Instant Play Development SDK. It also say that yes, there is an update available. So if I say that update, I almost have installed everything, you know. So if I say that apply, and it will start asking me to download everything, and then it will start that particular update. Remember this thing again, whenever you are starting the update, do not close your computer in the middle. It will break your installation, and then it will be a very painful process to uninstall and everything and reinstall. Okay, so if you want to avoid that particular painful process, so do not stop or do not close your computer in the middle of the operation. If you have started, let it finish, and once it is finished, you can close your computer. So that are different tools we have here. Okay, and I think that is the